I'm Sabrina Wu. I'm playing Deadeye. Okay, I really saw myself in the two girls in Booksmart in the sense that I worked very hard at school, and I was shocked to learn in college that you could have partied and done drugs and had a lot of friends and made out a lot and still gotten into a good school. And I also loved Alice Wu's movie Saving Face. I feel um, it's like about like two queer like Asian women like I was like in high school and those are like fully adult characters, but I think it was like the most like honest and like nuanced like representation of like what it's like to be Asian American with like parents who know that you're gay, and it was just nice. Yeah. I knew that I'd be auditioning for the part of Deadeye, and I kind of always knew that I probably couldn't play most characters, and Deadeye was such a freak that this might be my one and only opportunity to really like shine. Um, and so I was really, really excited. I mean, yeah, like I feel like I have a very I like to be big and talk about crazy things, and like it was just fun to read a script that was so fun and like so down to be like dirty and raunchy and weird. So I was very, very excited in that sense. Yeah. In stand up, like the practice of stand up is like doing your material over and over and over and over and grinding, which I don't think is necessarily true of auditioning. I did 187 takes for my self tape because I just thought that's what you do. I eventually, like, I think during callbacks got like an acting coach to help me prep for the next one, and she was like, yeah, you should never do more than 3 takes. But I personally peaked at 167. So, and I got the part. So I don't know, maybe this is my process. It definitely helped a lot to just like have practice writing so many jokes, and especially like in the movie, it's been a very collaborative process, and like I spent a lot of time like, like think like there's a lot of space for me to like come up with alts or like funny things for Deadeye to say, and that's been really it's just helpful to have that background, like to have like jokes sort of always on my mind. Deadeye is and I mean this in the most loving way possible, like a total freak. Um and I think has always known that they're a freak, and I think what's so beautiful about them is that they were sort of like what I was like in middle school. Like I knew I was very weird, and I would like make very, very weird jokes, or like I would like pretend to be stuck in a recycling bin head first because I just loved that. I don't know, I thought that was like good physical comedy, and like obviously that part of me has been shamed out of existence, but like for Deadeye it's like still there, and like they're just so true to who they are, and I think that's like very weird in society to like not conform and or not like not feel so pressured that you like totally change who you are, especially if you're a freak. So in the movie Deadeye has so much love for Audrey, is like probably I would say infatuated, and that's sort of like a bit I feel like um at the core, like I think Audrey is also somebody who like goes for what they want and is like, even though they're unsure about themselves, like definitely like doesn't cave to like other people, like to other people's expectations. Like they're very strong, like have a very strong sense of self. Um, and I think like Deadeye thinks that's super sick. And like also somebody who like is very lonely. Like I'm sure it's very cool that Audrey has so many friends. And so like I think there's a lot of respect for Audrey. And then Lolo is like Deadeye's cousin. And I think there's just like a very familial love. Like I think sometimes they razz each other, or they might like, like be annoyed at each other, or like, like because there's like a sense of security that they'll always be there for each other as family. And in terms of Kat, honestly, they don't interact enough in this movie. But I love Steph as a person. I think I think Deadeye just thinks that I think Deadeye is so pure and is like doesn't really spend time in their life like hating people. But yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of respect, I feel like, for these three people. Like I think there's just like a lot of love in Deadeye's heart. Yeah. And like the characters in the movie, like we have really distinct personalities, and so it was like just interesting to navigate at first, but then we went on this big adventure, like a lot like in the movie, and like we've like come to bond with each other in little ways, and they feel a lot like family. Like Ashley and I, we have probably spent the most amount of time together playing Catan in a ferocious way, and like Steph and I, like, you know, go to like the farmers market together. Like they just feel like family, and that we've like found little ways, even though like we're quite different as people, to like really care for one another and understand each other. Yeah, I just think there's like a level of self-assuredness that like that I never got prior to the trip. Like I think even though they were true to themselves, like I think they just lived in an environment that was like not good for them, like family that didn't really understand them, like online people that they had yet to meet in real life to like come through for them, and like by the end you just see that they're like so comfortably them. um and I, yeah, like just like a lot of self-love. So like it's meant so much to me that like some of my heroes, like Teresa, who wrote the movie, like when I was in college, I was like, she was on my to-do list forever to email and reach out to, just about like writing on like like a comedy show. And like it's like meant the world to me that I get the opportunity to like perform and with people I've admired from afar for so long. I just really hope that like Deadeye as a character like sort of um comforts like people who feel very lonely and like feel like they're not quite like everybody else around them, and feels the pressure to change, and that like feels inspired to like stay true to who they are, and like maintain hope that like you will find your people. Like everybody has a place in the world.